Hey guys, my name is Dice Rollin. Today we're going to be taking a look at some facts you didn't know about one of the not-so-praised sequels in the Howling franchise. Howling II, Your Sister is a Werewolf, was directed by Felipe Moira and tells of the events that followed the death of Karen White. Her brother, a fellow reporter, and a kind of werewolf hunter traveled to Transylvania to stop the Queen of the Werewolves from taking over the world. So without further ado, these are some things you didn't know about Howling II. The passage that we hear Stefan reading in the opening is the verses 2 through 5 from chapter 17 of the Book of Revelations. Stefan's house is the same mansion used in the House on Haunted Hill 1959. It's known as the Ennis House in California, and has been used several times in many different movies and TV series. The werewolf costumes we see are actually ape suits. The crew had been sent the wrong suits as the crate was labeled 20th Century Fox, Planet of the Apes. Upon calling the producer, Moira was told, "You're talented, you'll make it work." Christopher Lee became aware of the director's predicament and attempted to help by improvising his line of "the process of evolution is reversed." A critic of the film later stated that this was the only werewolf movie to have the phase man, monkey, wolf. What we hear the werewolves chanting is Echo Echo Azarak, which is actually known as the Witch's Chant in Wicca. A little detail that some may have noticed was how at one point Sybil Danning wore sunglasses inside at night. The reason for this is because at the time she had conjunctivitis. To hide it, Felipe Moira has her wear sunglasses, which Danning said wouldn't make sense. Moira responded saying, "Sybil, you're the queen of the werewolves. You can wear whatever you damned well like." Moira has also said that he believes this can be credited for the trend that became prevalent in the 80s of characters in horror movies wearing sunglasses frequently. At this point in her career, Sybil Danning didn't want to do any more nude scenes. The producers of the film insisted against this, so a compromise was reached, in which Danning would only have to do one topless scene. However, upon viewing the finished film, she was upset to find that that one scene was shown several times in the end credits. Speaking of Danning's topless scene, it's shown a total of 17 times during the credits. The original version of the movie only showed this 5 times, but while in Australia, Moira received a call from the producer asking to show the scene more. Moira replied saying, "If you're crazy enough to do that, go ahead." There are quite a few subtitles for this movie. Some include Your Sister is a Werewolf, She-Wolf, It's Not Over Yet, Bark at the Moon, and Stirba, Werewolf Bitch. Though the movie shares a similar title, is a direct sequel to The Howling, and incorporated input from Gary Brandner, Howling II is not based on his novel The Howling II. Brandner's first draft of the script was a lot closer to his book, and, according to Joe Dante, there was a woman walking her dog on the first page. The dog's name was Dante. This was likely a jab at Joe Dante, as he had previously said that The Howling was better than Brandner's novel. Originally, Marcia Quist was meant to return, but Elisabeth Brookes refused. Some believe this is due to her health at the time, or because of her displeasure at being lied to about her nude scene in the first movie. So the character Mariana was created to take her place in the story. The main reason why Gary Brandner had to abandon writing the script was because of the frequent changes wanted by the producer. First, the movie was going to take place in Spain. Then it was changed to Yugoslavia. Due to Brandner's deadline for his novel The Howling III Echoes approaching, he had to drop the script. So, Robert Sarno was brought in to make the script what is seen on screen. Apparently, one reason why Christopher Lee decided to accept the role of Stefan was because he hadn't done a werewolf movie. Felipe Moira was totally unaware of Christopher Lee's background during World War II. When the cast and crew arrived in Czechoslovakia, Lee was given a hero's welcome at the airport. This is when Moira began to learn about Lee having been a Nazi hunter, and how he was involved in the killing of Reinhard Heydrich. According to Moira, Lee had told him, "Dear boy, please come with me, and let me tell you about what I've seen." Lee proceeded to lead him to the basement of a church they were visiting in Prague. Here, he told him about the people who had been trapped there by Nazis, and the events that occurred. When the cast and crew arrived in Prague, Felipe Moira asked the local authorities for a place to use as Stirba's lair. Much to his surprise, they were taken to a Catholic church with its own crypt. Though he loved this location, Moira had some moral concerns about the kind of scenes they would be filming here. He told the priest about their plans and was given his permission to do what they wanted, to which Moira asked, "Isn't this considered desecration?" The priest responded, "Absolutely, but we've been asking the Soviets to allow a bishop from the Vatican to come visit us for years, and now they have their sanctification." The Soviets were also impressed that Moira had no issue filming in a religious location. Apparently they didn't like the church and wanted to annoy the Vatican. Felipe Moira has stated that Christopher Lee wasn't fond of his co-stars. Apparently, Lee found Annie McEnroe and Reb Brown's acting to be so bad that he frequently wasn't on set, as if he was trying to distance himself from the film. The original cut of the film was supposed to rely more on the combination of comedy and horror, and be tongue-in-cheek. However, while Moira was working on Death of a Soldier in Australia, the producers edited the movie to take out most of the comedic elements. Sybil Danning wanted to do another sequel. After the DVD release of The Howling II, she approached Moira with a treatment for the idea. He quite liked it and spoke to Gary Brandner. Brandner told him that since there had been 6 Howling movies already, they should do something new of their own. Still, Danning, Moira, and Brandner were planning on making a movie with the working title of Wolf Project, but not much more is known about it, and if it's still a possibility. When Christopher Lee was cast as Dr. Catheter in Gremlins 2, he immediately approached Joe Dante and apologized for being part of Howling 2. So those were some facts about Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf, you may not have known. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like to let me know. See you later.